What's going on, guys? We're back. Misyk And Maat Sports Talk, episode 3.
New studio for us.
Yeah, we're in the new studio. We don't want to talk about how long it took us to figure this out.
It took too long.
Almost 2 hours. But yeah, we're here. This is gonna go up in a few. We're recording this Sunday evening.
October 3rd.
Yeah, October 3rd, Sunday evening. This will go up in a few days because obviously we're working out all the kinks with the new studio. We're trying to figure out how this all works still. So you guys will see this probably Tuesday, but I don't think it's that big of a deal because we're not missing anything. Like NHL season doesn't start yet. NBA doesn't start. The wild card game's on Tuesday, but we know the matchups already, so we can talk about that today, and it doesn't affect anything.
I think the NL is
LA, St. Louis.
no, NL is Wednesday, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we don't even record on Tuesdays anyways, so like either way, like it wouldn't matter. So you are seeing this a little bit late, but hey, better late than never. Hopefully you are seeing this. If you are, that means we figured out everything. But yeah, why don't we get started, Cody? What do you want to? There's not a lot going on in sports. It's either like dead or like kind of huge stories.
Yeah, well, I mean, just for us, me, Ethan, and our friends are going to the Battle of Alberta tomorrow, and we're hyped.
Yeah, we revealed that on our show last week, and it's crept up really quick on us.
I'm so excited.
Like tomorrow, hopefully there's going to have some guys in the Chell playing. I guess we'll see, but should be fun. We're also recording this a day late because I was out of town. We usually record Saturday afternoons, and I was in Red Deer having fun, doing stuff, living life. No, but you guys are still going to get your Misyk And Maat Sports Talk podcast regardless of if it's on Saturdays. We're just going to promise that you'll get one. We can't promise any day, especially with the new studio and everything. We want to, if you noticed at the start of this episode, there was no intro. Cody, you want to tell them why? We don't have an intro?
Oh, yeah, we got into trouble with, copywriting.
Yeah, the copyright police got us. Our first time, only episode 2, and we're already fucking up with the copyright. Yeah, we have to fix up all our intro and outro. Like, we thought it would be cool, and for some reason, I didn't think about the actual, issue of copyright, even though I know damn well, because, obviously, I'm a radio student. We learn about not what's to use and what not to use.
Yeah.
So I knew that was coming. And for some reason it just went over my head that this is something that we shouldn't do. But yeah, we'll figure that out. Nothing's wrong with the channel, believe it or not. I don't think we're big enough. I was told by the people when we got copyright claimed that we were not going to be able to monetize our podcast. I'm like, oh no, we have 23 followers. We're not making any money, guys.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, me and Cody aren't rich off Misyk And Maat Sports Talk. The website doesn't sell any merch yet. Stay tuned.
Heck yeah.
Just there's nothing in the works right now, but I think if we get big enough, that'll be pretty badass.
We'll get it eventually.
No. Yeah, there's not really a lot in sports to talk about. We kind of already touched on that at the start. We're going to go over baseball kind of because pretty wild finish to the season today. It's kind of cool that we didn't mean to miss our Saturday recording time, but I think it's cool that we finished today.
Yeah, I think just because baseball ended today, I think today's a perfectly fine day to record.
There's a little bit of shit going on in hockey. Do you know what happened in the Ukrainian league?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Because genuinely, I want to try and keep our shows light and fun, but I think we'd be remiss to not at least talk about what happened
Oh,
here.
yeah, that was terrible. I'm sure a lot of people listening or have hopefully seen the video.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the video, there was a situation in the Ukrainian Hockey League, the UHL, where a player named Andrei Deniskin made a shitty racist gesture to a poor man named Jalen Shamarek, who used to play in Flint of the OHL, and also used to play in the AHL too. Um, I know I thought and I was hoping that this guy would have like the book thrown at him. Like
Yeah.
I wanted like a lifetime ban. Like people, it should be set in stone that this is not okay. And like the UHL and the IIHF, I think it was mainly the IIHF really made it a what was it 13 game suspension, but if he pays a $1,800 fine, he can get it down to 3.
That's not okay.
So this dude basically loses about a week and a half, 2 weeks of hockey for being racist, and that's not good. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
It should be set in stone that this is not okay. And I know where me and Cody stand. I know we're not
Everyone should stand,
we're
but-
in the majority here.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's a few like shitty people on Twitter who are like, "Oh, fucking yeah." But like I think for the most part everyone here is kind of in the majority, and it's fucked up that he didn't get what he deserved really. He got let off the hook for something that shouldn't be let off the hook.
Yeah.
And the commissioner of the UHL spoke out against the IIHF on this whole situation, on the suspension. Then he got fired. Did you know that?
No.
He got fired because he
not know
spoke
that.
out against racism.
Oh boy.
So there's a lot of shit going on. We don't know how much more this situation will like ramp up. I hope that this doesn't go away. Like obviously racism should go away, but I hope that people don't just like forget about this and move on.
Yeah, and didn't Wayne Simmons say like this is why he's like scared or doesn't want his kids to play hockey?
I think he did say that, and I know Nazem Kadri spoke out against it too. There's been a bunch of people and current and former NHLers who've spoke out against this situation. It's just a really shitty situation that could have been not resolved, but like handled way better.
Yeah. Like, it's good that people are speaking up and stuff, but like, the leagues are doing a bad job with handling this stuff. Like, even the Evander Kane incidents, like,
I think they did handle the Evander Kane incident like okay. Like
yeah,
there's a lot of shit with the Evander Kane incident where obviously if you don't know, Evander Kane's obviously got like gambling issues.
oh yeah, and like abuse issues and stuff.
Yeah, is that confirmed? Like the alleged abuse?
No, but there was a time, I think this was back in like, I don't know, like 2017 or before that, but I think he got like in a fight at a bar or something, so
I think so. Maybe
he's had issues in the past.
we'll just put it as alleged abuse for right now, but he's got known gambling issues, and we're gonna come back to the UHL topic because I want to like officially wrap that.
Yep.
But the NHL kind of, I think, dropped the ball on Evander Kane as well. Like I feel like, yeah, he should be punished if he is betting on his own games.
I think
That was
proven false.
yeah, I think they proved that false.
Yep.
But gambling's just as much of an addiction as like alcohol and drugs, and they didn't like take the initiative to treat it like that.
Yeah.
Like the NHL kind of treated that as something like lesser to them, which I don't love. Like an addiction's an addiction regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
And he obviously needs help. I'm sure he's going to get it, but yeah. I want to
We'll
wrap
see what happens.
UHL situation. We didn't dive super deep into it because like we want to keep like a light and fun show.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything more like prescribed from that, we'll definitely talk about it. And you know how we feel, and I'm sure we know how you guys feel. That's fucked up, and that's not.
Yeah, it's serious stuff that we can't let go away quietly.
Yeah, we gotta like people gotta keep this going. Like we can't like forget about this. Like because once you forget, then it just quietly goes away. But you can't let this go away until racism is eradicated from our society, I think.
Yep, I agree.
But we are going to take a turn to baseball, I think. You want to talk about baseball or you want to keep talking about hockey? Because there's not a lot of hockey stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, there's been pretty much a week and a bit of preseason. We have seen a couple hat tricks from Michael Bunting, Ethan's favorite, and the real deal, James Neal.
Yeah, James Neal had his hat trick on night one.
Oh, man.
Or the real deal. I don't hate James Neal at league minimum. I won't lie.
I don't like him, but I don't hate him.
He's
so.
good at league min, just not at like $6 million.
Yeah.
But-
Sorry.
No, you go.
Brendan Perlini has also been playing well, I think. Been scoring quite a bit for the Oilers.
I try not to read too much into preseason because I feel like the actual NHLers don't try.
Yeah.
Like
It's
look
just
at
a shot for like
like the people who are trying to make the team and like rookies are like working their ass off. But like, do you think McDavid's going 110%?
oh
Like, look, not to disrespect Ty Ratty, but isn't he like the all-time like preseason points leader?
I'm
And
not
just
sure.
like in that one preseason run, like Ty Ratty was the next Gretzky coming out of that.
Tyrati was actually pretty good in the dub.
Yeah, for the Portland Winterhawks.
Yeah.
I remember watching him play the Oil Kings.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Shout out to the what was it? The 20
Long time ago.
2011, 2012 Portland Winterhawks. I feel like every year they had a bunch of NHLers.
Yeah.
Like-
Was Seth Jones?
Seth
or-
Jones, Caleb Jones, Matt Dumba, Nick Patan.
Yeah.
Who else? I just remember those teams. I'll never forget that Matt Dumba was because he played for Red Deer. And they got
Yeah.
traded to Portland. I'll never forget because me and my dad were at a game, and he looked at Matt Dumba and he looked at me and he's like, look at his name and then put 2 S's at the end. And he was like, he's like dumbass, and he's like, no, that's how I remember what junior team Matt Dumba played for. If you're wondering.
Okay, and I think the only thing left I have to really talk about hockey is shout out to Jonathan Drouin about him overcoming his mental illness, I guess, and
Yeah.
it's really good to see him back and like fully in shape.
Yeah, that's a great sign because obviously there's sort of like a stigma for like men and mental health, and it's tough for people to go out there and like admit that they're doing wrong. Not doing wrong, but they're in the wrong place. And especially with something as sensitive as hockey culture, like I love hockey, but hockey culture is like fucked up.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Like coming out about your mental illness kind of isn't something that's like kind of accepted, because like I feel like if you think about hockey culture, it goes back to the whole like be a man shit, right?
Yeah, like I don't know, like people always look at hockey players as like
Douchey, shitty.
rock hard people who like don't have feelings, I guess.
Yeah, like it's a discussion about hockey culture is kind of like something that we would have to do in depth, because there's a lot of like different ways you could look at it. Kind of fucked up like from left to right. But if you know the gist of what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like coming out about your mental illness is something that's extremely hard to admit to yourself in like regular life, but then imagine how people will view you in the hockey world.
Yeah.
Like it's not great. Like I'm really shout out to Jonathan Drouin because
I'm proud of him.
there's 100%. He's not the only one.
And same with Taze. Well, Taze wasn't mental, really. Well, actually, I don't know.
What describe that more, because I'm not too sure what happened there. Was it just the injury, just coming back from like what happened with Taves?
Well, he was like had that like unknown sickness last year, and he like just totally stepped away from the game and like grew back his strength and is back for this year.
Was
like
that
he did what he had to do to get back to normal.
was that from like physical or like mental?
I think it was physical. Sorry, not really mental. Well, I don't know because
Yeah, we don't know these guys personally.
like there wasn't the Taze story was actually kept pretty quiet.
It
like,
was
I really don't know much about that.
no, it is kept so quiet that I don't really know anything about it. Like when Cody said Taves, I was kind of like, Taves? Really? But yeah. What else? There's not a lot of like preseason's really like a dry time to discuss hockey. Like PTOs are getting signed. No, people are getting released from their camps, but like that's not super notable, really.
Yeah.
Like me and Cody were talking about this on the drive here, but Connor Zari's with the Flames still.
Yeah, and he hasn't played a game. He got hurt. I don't know if it was the first or second prospect game against the Oilers, but he blocked a shot and like hasn't played since, and he's somehow still on the team.
Is it confirmed that he's still on the team, or was he just quietly released, do you think?
I won't be surprised if he's been released, but like
Probably,
yeah. I haven't seen anything about it though.
Who knows? Maybe he'll make a miraculous return to the lineup, and we'll watch him tomorrow.
That'd
Oilers
be sick.
Flames.
That'd be sick.
No, but tomorrow we are going to the preseason game, as Cody touched on. It'll be cool because they're kind of ramping up towards the actual start of the season. So hopefully,
I'm hoping we see like Johnny Hockey and Kachuk.
Against McDavid and Dry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's not a lot of hockey stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to elaborate on what we've got.
Like we touched on the UHL, we touched on preseason. It's not much. There, where it's kind of like big and crazy is baseball.
Yeah.
Should we get into the Jays and everyone in general?
Sure.
Okay.
Season's over.
Jays got officially eliminated because the Washington Nationals suck.
Blew a 5-1 lead to the Red Sox to get the Jays eliminated.
To put context to what's going on, if you're not a huge baseball fan, the American League wild card race was extremely tight, down to the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, obviously the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Seattle Mariners.
We had a chance for a 4-way tie, and that would have been sick.
I don't know if there's ever been a 4-way or even a 3-way tie.
That's why I think it would have been awesome to see that, but we don't even get a tiebreaker.
No, because we're big Jays fans, so this is like heartbreaking. We found out that Boston took the lead in the 9th on the drive here.
And Ethan, I was driving, and Ethan's like, oh my gosh, 2-run bomb. And I like thought he was kidding at first, and then he's like, 2-run bomb. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, Rafael Devers, great player. Hate him because he's on the Red Sox.
Yeah, we don't like the Red Sox.
If the Yankees
don't like the Yankees.
If the Yankees or the Red Sox were to lose today and the Jays would have won, which they did,
they walloped.
They would have tied for the wild card and had a 1-game tiebreaker for the final postseason position. But that didn't happen. The Jays destroyed the Orioles. What was it? 12-4?
I think so. 12 or 13-4.
They scored double-digit runs every game this series.
No, the first game was 6-4.
So 2 of the 3 games they smoke the Orioles. Their bats are scorching hot going into the we hope to be the
hope to
playoffs.
be in full season.
But ooh, I just hit the mic. Sorry for the loud thud. That was my shoulder. But what we hoped for postseason, we didn't get it. Heartbreaking to
sucks.
say the least. Because the Jays haven't made the playoffs since 2016. It's been like
Yeah, 'cause I don't count last year.
oh yeah, like they technically made it last year, but
That was just
there was
they didn't stand a chance.
it was hard to not make it last year if you're a good team.
Yeah.
The Jays win, Red Sox win, Yankees win, which results in a New York-Boston wild card game, which if I wasn't a Jays fan, that's electric.
Yeah, that's a sick game, but just being a Jays fan, you hate both the teams.
No, like if I was like a Tigers fan, like I look at Boston, New York, I'm like, that's going to be a game to watch. But because I'm a Jays fan, I'm like, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
Like so close.
Like two of their rivalries just making it over them and laughing.
Also, the American League East is by far the toughest division, right?
Yeah.
They had 4 or 5 teams win over 90 games this year. It's the Orioles who suck. The Rays, amazing. And then Jays, Yankees, Red Sox. I would put in the good category, but none of them were like top tier. But like they're
Yeah.
still really competitive. They won over 90 games of
Like-
162.
I saw in 2016, I don't think the Jays won 90 games. And
They won
made it.
under. They was in the 80s, I think.
Yep.
Didn't they win the division? No, they played Baltimore in the wild card game.
Yeah, that was where Ed Wing walked it off.
That was the game where Zach Britton had like a Cy Young year out of the bullpen, and for some reason they didn't put him in that game.
Really?
Yeah, it was I think his ERA was like under like 0.5, and even when the game went to extras, somehow Zach Britton didn't get the ball, and then the Jays walked it off. That's what I
Oh
remember.
my gosh.
Like I remember the iconic Edwin Encarnacion walk-off home run, but like I'll just never forget not seeing Zach Britton. Like I couldn't imagine being an Orioles fan in that moment.
Yeah, life as an Orioles fan's got to be rough.
Like who would you consider the Jays' best reliever right now?
Probably Romano.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Imagine they're in a winner-go-home game, and they put in someone bad. They put in Jacob Barnes instead of Jordan Romano.
Or just imagine if the Jays still had Dolis and they just
yeah,
Montoyo threw him in there.
because I remember that Odubel Jimenez, I think is his
Yep.
name.
I remember.
That's who
this
they put
Jimenez.
in instead of Zach Britton, and then Encarnacion hit that walk-off bomb, which is a ridiculous bone-trilling moment.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like depressing and hilarious that Zach Britton didn't get the ball at any point in that game.
It's kind of embarrassing to the
Yeah.
Orioles.
Oh, 100%. NL wild card. Actually, let's do a AL wild card. Who wins? Yankees, Red Sox. Cody, who is your pick to face off against? I think it's Tampa, and who they'd play.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is Tampa.
Because Tampa's the best team in the AL, technically.
That's
They can't beat the Yankees today, but
it's a tough one because they have the exact same record, don't they?
I'll let you finish, but I'm gonna go with the Yankees.
I was thinking that too, just because I assume that Garrett Cole will be
Yeah.
starting.
They have I don't know who would pitch for Boston. Chris Sale's good, but
He got pulled today.
yeah, he pitched like shit today, but they still won. No, Chris Sale's great, but he's not on Garrett Cole's level anymore. Like that's
Yeah.
a player.
Do you think Garrett Cole's going to win the Cy Young?
Maybe. I think I'm a little bit biased being a Jays fan, but Robbie Ray and Garrett Cole are as neck and neck as it could be, right?
Yeah, it's really close.
And here's the thing. I want to say Robbie, but it might be Cole. Like
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know how they vote. Do they vote on? Because I know in the NHL, a lot of the voting is this guy's been good 5 years ago. Let's give him this trophy. Especially with the Norris voting.
Yeah.
I don't know how they vote in baseball. Are they like real with their voting, or do they look at who was good 5 years ago? Because Robbie Ray wasn't good 5 years ago.
I think it'll be cold partly because they made the playoffs too.
I guess, but
I just think that because Robbie pitching the game they lost to the Yankees, the important game.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Garrett Cole lost to the Jays the night before.
Oh yeah.
And that was such an enigma of a game.
Oh yeah, that was when Bo hit that bomb in the 8th. Yeah.
That was such a like crazy like enigma of a game. Like you give up 6 hits, right? 5 of them are home runs.
Yep.
In what world does that ever happen?
Against the Yankees, I guess.
And I was watching that game live. Trevor Richards put a beautiful changeup down and in that somehow Giancarlo Stanton golfed.
Yeah, that's such a weird swing.
No, watching that home run, like in when it happened, I was like, oh, fucking Trevor Richards. And then I watched the replay. I'm like, that's a dirty pitch.
Yeah, Stanton was like almost on one knee, I think.
Like I was like mad in the moment. Then I watched the replay. I'm like, that's a filthy changeup down and in. I don't know how he even made contact, let alone smoke that ball into the outfield. No, but I got Yankees for the sheer fact that Garrett Cole might be pitching.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't trust the Red Sox really. I feel like the Yankees are better.
Yeah, same. I think that.
I feel like the AL wildcard's a lot harder to predict than the NL wildcard.
Oh yeah, NL's Dodgers.
The Dodgers are winning. Are you kidding me?
Dodgers, Cardinals. Could you imagine if the Cardinals won?
I mean, it's not hard to imagine. It's a one game
it's
thing.
one game.
It's a one game thing. Anything can happen. But you can't bet against the Dodgers, right?
Yeah,
Like they're just that good, right?
I think so. Aren't our Giants Dodgers 1-2?
In the whole league?
Yeah.
Giant
Wow.
Giants are number 1.
Yep.
And then Dodgers are 2 in general, which is kind of crazy that I said the NL East. I mean, the AL East is the hardest division when you have the top 2 teams there.
Yeah. San Fran and LA in the same division. That's a tough one for bottom teams.
Okay, little fun game. I'm trying to fix my mic. Fun game. You're the manager of X playoff team. What's your strategy going in? Like, do you just say, fuck it, balls to the wall? Here's my best pitchers every inning. Or do you go, we might have to save this for the division series?
Like you're talking in a wild card game?
Yeah.
Oh, balls to the wall.
Yeah.
It's a winner go home game.
A lot of managers play it safe. And they're
No.
Like, if I'm the Dodgers, why don't you pitch Scherzer, then you throw Kershaw in, then you throw Buehler in?
I did get a notification on my phone saying that Kershaw might not pitch in the playoffs due to injury, I think.
Oh, no, they only have, 4 all-star pitchers. No, I'm very much on the side of screw it. Let's throw everything you got and just here it is.
Yeah, definitely. Scherzer could even go 7 innings if he's cooking.
Yeah, and then you also have Urias too.
Yep.
I don't like LA also has Trevor Bauer, but he hasn't pitched in forever due to
What was that? Assault?
Assault allegations,
I think so.
which haven't been proven either way, so it's just allegations right now. But that's kind of like what we talked about earlier, stuff like that has no place in sports. So if it is true, then there's the highway, buddy. But I guess I'm not gonna make any strong opinions until we know what's up. with that.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's too easy. LA over St. Louis.
Yeah, hands down. Well, St. Louis was really hot for.
They still are.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like if St. Louis has a good day, like you never know what can happen. It's one game.
How do you feel about playoff formatting? Do you think it should be you take the teams with the highest record, or do you like the division setup?
I like the division.
Because there's teams that have that are missing the playoffs right now with better record than Atlanta. You're a Jays fan too.
Yeah.
Better them and Seattle better records than the Braves, and they just because Atlanta happens to be in the hot garbage division of the league.
Well, I don't know, cause just it's always been division, so like that's the way I look at it.
In baseball, it's always been divisions, but I think for shit like hockey, you split the two conferences up 1-8.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Here's the thing. I don't give a. I don't want to drop a F-bomb, but I don't give a fuck if 3 teams make it from each division. Give me the best teams.
Yeah.
And not
the
to
teams that deserve to be there.
Not to shit on Montreal. They haven't been good in the regular season 2 years in a row.
Yeah. That was lucky last year, like just with how weird of a season it was, just they got lucky.
No, I'll give them credit because playoff hockey is a different type of hockey, just the way the rules are called. But you could make the argument that when COVID first shut down the 1920 was 1920, right? 1920 season when COVID shut it down, you could make the argument that Montreal team isn't going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, like
did Pittsburgh get screwed out of that? I don't think so. They should have won, but like they shouldn't. And
Montreal shouldn't have been there in the first. Like same with Arizona.
Montreal last year wasn't a great team. They made the playoffs because 4 teams from each division made the playoffs. And maybe I'm just a salty Toronto fan because they lost, but I don't want to give you amazing amount of credit for beating up on the COVID Canucks.
Yeah.
Like, didn't like 20% of their points come against Vancouver?
I think so, yeah.
Vancouver's shit.
Like that, yeah, that was also weird last year. Like I think didn't the Oilers win like 8 against Ottawa?
Yeah, Edmonton beat up on Ottawa.
Yeah, like last year was so weird. Like you see stuff like that happen, and then you see those teams do awful in the postseason, and
other than Montreal.
Yeah,
but I don't want to sound like that because like I'm not saying don't try against the shitty teams, but like why like reward a team for being subpar? Why not just have it the best 8 teams in each conference?
Yeah, I think
I don't care if
better.
3 teams from each division make it.
You take the best of the best.
Like I understand like TV not regulations, but like the like broadcasting standpoint where it's like you want to get close to home games to build rivalries, but there's like deserving teams missing out on the playoffs each year because of division formats. I don't know if I hate divisions in baseball, but I think hockey should be 1-8, and I think they should reseed after every round too. Why stop at just the original formatting?
Yeah, I understand. Another thing I like about divisions is divisions are like how like rivalries are kind of made. And that's just what I like to see in the playoffs too.
I'm not saying scrap divisions. I'm saying keep divisions, scrap how playoffs are formatted.
Oh, okay.
Like keep the Atlantic, keep the Metro, keep Central and Pacific. I'm saying instead of 1, 2, 3 in each division and then 2 wild cards, You combine both the divisions of that conference.
Oh, and
Just take 1 to 8.
Yeah, okay.
Keep the divisions, keep the rivalries, but let's not like reward teams for being worse than others.
Yeah, I see.
Because there's definitely been a few instances where shitty teams make the playoffs and teams will miss just because they're in a strong division.
Yeah.
Like, I don't love that, to be honest. Okay, should we preview some baseball playoffs? We previewed Wild Card, but we know some of the division series.
Yeah, so in the AL, we've got the White Sox going up against the Astros.
Yeah, and then Tampa versus one of Boston or New York. We think New York, but can't really touch on that series until it's set in stone.
Yeah.
Who do you got? Chicago, Houston.
Me, I've got Chicago partly because I'm definitely biased in this series because I love the White Sox are arguably my second favorite team, and I hate the Astros.
The Astros are really good,
Yeah.
but you can't love them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna cheer for them. Like, I'm gonna cheer for the White Sox, but
Gotta cheer for Tim Anderson.
I
Awesome.
love everything Tim Anderson brings. Maybe he's improved his defensive game a lot.
Yeah.
But like, just like the definition of personality, I love that guy.
His walk off in the Field of Dreams.
That might
was
have
sick.
been like the coolest thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Because
That game was awesome.
I remember watching the movie The Field of Dreams a long time ago, and I'm like, this is a good movie.
Yeah.
But like watching that game with the corn,
Yeah. Goosebumps.
and I'm so happy they're bringing it back, even though whatever they do next year is not going to top this.
Yeah. Like,
And who doesn't like to see the Yankees lose? Let's be honest.
it was also cool seeing like Kevin Costner relive the
Like walking out.
yeah, and like reliving the movie kind of.
No, that was cool. And I liked how, if you remember, they had all the players come out like
Yeah,
right
that
in
was also really
groups together. And
Oh,
I was
seeing Rufin and Odor come out of there. Oh my
like,
gosh.
Root Ned. There's just some really like. Here's the thing, baseball's a slow sport that happens so quick.
Yep.
Like, there's just some unforgettable moments that, like, ever since I became a baseball fan, I'll never forget. Like, obviously I'm biased, but Game 5 against Texas,
The 2 errors.
3 errors.
3.
Because
there
was Beltre dropped one at third. I know Rootned dropped one on the out. It was like a shallow pop up and he dropped it, but then they got him at second because he had to run back because he thought he was going to catch it.
Oh yeah.
And there was a throwing error on a double play, and then Bautista hit the 3-run bomb to give the Jays the lead. I'll never forget. That was like an hour-long inning, and it was like thrilling TV.
Yeah, because I remember Andrews made. I think Andrews actually might have made both the errors because I remember Beltre threw it to Andrews.
Yeah, well, that's what I was just thinking about him at third.
Yeah, and
So
I remember it was like a good throw, and Andrews just dropped it, and Dalton Pompey slid in there.
Dalton Pompey's a name that, like, a throwback for me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every year was like Dalton Pompey's going to be really good. And then
Yeah,
Dalton Pompey was never good.
He was always just there to run.
Who does Dalton Pompey play for?
I don't know if he still plays.
Dalton Pompey. Any guesses?
I don't know.
He's a free agent.
Oh.
Current
Blue Jays
team,
bring him back
Buffalo
just for fun.
Bisons.
He's Canadian.
I know. 28 years old, the fall of Dalton Pompey. Yeah, but I think we both got the White Sox because we're a little bit biased because we don't like the Astros.
Who does?
But I also really like Chicago's pitching staff. I think Lance Lynn, Giolito, Keuchel, Rodon.
Oh, yeah.
They also have Dylan Cease,
Yeah,
who I think's really
that's a
underrated.
good starting rotation.
And they have an elite pitching rotation. They don't forget
They
their
have
bullpen. Hendricks, Bummer,
Yeah.
Kopech.
It's a good team.
That's the reason that they are in the playoffs.
And the Jays aren't.
I fucking hate the Jays sometimes. The shitty thing about Toronto is, are they going to get better? Like, they're losing Marcus Semien.
Yeah, I meant to say that earlier. I think they're hands down gonna lose Semien because he's gonna get paid next year, and then who knows about Robbie?
I think they're going to bring back Robbie on a ridiculous, like, extension.
That will look bad with
That'll
him.
it'll look horrible, but, like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Bring him
Yeah.
back. We need pitching.
Yeah,
Also, shout out Marcus Semien for becoming the single-season home run leader by a second baseman. We didn't talk about this,
45.
but 45?
yeah, he hit one today.
Oh, shout out Mark. 45 home runs, never been done by a second baseman until now.
That's insane.
It's cool that it happened on the Jays.
Yeah,
I'll never forget when they got Marcus Semien, and I texted you at work because I
remember that
I used
too.
to work at like me and Cody both used to work at a retirement home, but this is like before he worked there, and I was in the bathroom because I didn't have to go to the bathroom, but I was just like away from work because I was like, I need a break. And I texted Cody. I'm like, "Oh my god, they got Semien."
Semien's a really good player.
Shout
I
out,
like
yeah.
Marcus Semien.
The Jays made a few moves in the span of a couple days when because they got Mats the next day, I think.
Yeah,
Because I
man.
remember they got Mats like it broke when I was in my car and we were gonna go skating. Because I was in my car and I'm like, "Oh shit, they got Steven Matz."
Steven Matz is also pretty good this year, especially for being like a number 5 starter, pretty much.
5-6 kind of because they kept Robbie on a tight rotation and people were losing starts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started really hot, then he kind of went to shit, and then the
Then he
last
brought it
few months
back.
he's been
Yeah.
stellar. He was good enough to win against the Orioles the other day, but it doesn't matter because they missed the playoffs in the long run. Okay, next series we got Milwaukee versus Atlanta. I going with Milwaukee.
The same. Just because Atlanta
Doesn't have Acuna.
doesn't have a good record and doesn't have Cunha.
Well, they don't have arguably. You could argue that Ronald Acuna is the best player in the MLB, right? Or am I just
Yeah.
crazy?
No, I think you can argue that.
I think he's one of the most electric. I
Yeah.
love it. A trend with me is that I seem to love like electric players, like Tim Anderson. We just
Yeah.
talked about Ronald. I fucking love Ronald.
Yeah, I think Ronald's better though, like obviously, but
Then Tim, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Anderson kind of booty compared to Ronald.
yeah.
But a lot of Atlanta injuries. Like they haven't had Mike Soroka the whole season. Alberta boy.
Again? Wasn't he injured last year?
Yeah, they've lost him for like 2 straight years.
Yeah. Calgary. That's where he's from.
Yeah, he's from
That's
Alberta
sick.
boy. Mike Soroka,
That's
but
really cool. And he's like really good too. Like it's not like he's bad.
yeah, there's not a lot of A, Canadian baseball players, and B, like somewhat local to where we are. Like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he's like, you could argue that Charlie Morton's better, but I think if he wasn't injured, I think Soroka's their ace.
Yeah.
And then obviously Acuna's their best player who's out 60-day IL, torn ACL a long time ago.
I remember I think I might have been watching the game actually that it happened.
Wasn't it against Pittsburgh?
I don't-
Miami?
I
I
don't
think it
know.
was Miami.
But I remember because I think he was running to first and he just tripped or stepped on the bag weird or something and just
I think that's a
fell to the
different
ground.
game because I'm pretty sure it happened in right field.
oh,
But I'm also might just be like big timing you right now.
I don't know.
Like I'm 100% probably just big timing Cody, and just like, nah, you're wrong. But
I'm searching it up.
no, I don't. I don't know why. Like I don't think it's that big of a deal for me to be like, I think you're wrong. But yeah,
Yeah, it was in right field. Yeah, you're
In
right.
Miami?
That was a different time I was talking.
give me that. Are you kidding? In Miami too?
Yeah, that was a different time I was talking about.
Oh my god, I'm a genius. We were watching the intro of our first podcast, and Cody saw that I was like, Cody knows more about baseball, and then he paused it. He's like, you think I won't know more than baseball than you?
Well, I don't think I know more than you.
I just know like weird shit.
That's good.
Like Ronald Acuna tore his ACL in right field in
Miami.
Marlins Park.
It was 2-0.
Was it?
I don't know.
I was gonna say,
saying that.
but Atlanta's obviously good,
Mhm.
like obviously good enough to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But without their best player and arguably best pitcher, how good? Like they
Oh,
still have
boy.
Albies. They still have. They reacquired Adam Duvall, who I think is really good.
Mhm.
Obviously Freeman's still there.
Swanson.
Swanson he had a really good year. Almost 90 RBIs.
Yeah.
27. I love Dansby Swanson. Nice flow.
Yeah, I was just gonna say a sick flow.
Austin Riley really stepped up this year.
Yeah.
The big man, Austin Riley, 303 with
Really?
33 home runs and 105 RBIs.
Holy crap.
So Austin Riley really stepped up when they needed him to. Obviously, at the trade deadline, if you look at what Atlanta did, they had a clear focus of trying to replace Acuna in the outfield. Like they picked up Eddie Rosario, Jock Peterson, Adam Duvall, who I just talked about. But you can't replace that player. You try to replace what he can bring, but you can't really replace anything more than that, really.
Yeah.
I think Milwaukee's just too good. I love everything kind of about the Brewers this year. Like I feel we haven't talked about this. Did you know what happened to Devin Williams?
Oh yeah, when they won the division during the celebration,
Yeah.
he like punched the wall.
Yeah, they won the division, and
I got the notification at work, and just oh my gosh.
we talk about like I think last episode we talked about like weird baseball and written rules. Why do they celebrate like they've won the World Series when they clinch a playoff spot?
And I feel like there's such weird injuries too, because didn't Plesac I think he plays for the Indians. He
Yeah,
broke his thumb or something when he was taking off his shirt.
I
And
think
then
so.
an Oakland pitcher, I think it was, broke his pinky by slamming his controller down when he was playing video games.
I don't remember who that was, but I know that story.
Yeah.
But so stupid that they
Injuries
you don't
like
have to
that
go.
just can't happen.
You don't have to go that hard for winning. Like it's like good, but then you got the postseason. Apparently, Devin Williams had too much to drink, and he punched a hole through a wall with his pitching hand, and now he gets
Oh my
season-ending surgery.
Oh, and it's his pitching hand?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
and like that's just so stupid. And like Devin Williams is one of the most. He's not the best in the bullpen because Josh Hader exists.
Yep.
But he's definitely one of the most important in the Brewers bullpen. And that's such a tough loss. Do you know who pitched 0.1 innings for the Brewers this year?
Nope.
Former Blue Jay John Axford.
Oh, yeah, didn't the Blue Jays originally acquire him?
I think they signed him to the like single A team.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
John Axford's 38.
Yeah.
He pitched 0.1 innings and then got injured and got put on the 60-day IL.
Oh, my gosh, man.
No, but I love everything about the Brewers pitching staff. I think Corbin Burns is really good. Freddie Peralta, Brandon Woodruff. I
Another
think
good rotation.
Adrian Hauser had a really underrated year.
Mm-hmm.
10-6, 3.22 ERA. It's really good for like your number 4, number 5. Who I don't even know who their I guess Brett Anderson would be their 5th pitcher. It was
Yeah.
underwhelming, but you don't need to run five pitchers
Yeah.
in the playoffs. Like you need 3 solid ones and a good 4th one.
Mm-hmm.
And they got that. So I think they as much as I hate to say it, I do think that because I'm like a big Atlanta fan, but I feel like Milwaukee has them beat in kind of every category.
Yeah, with Acuna and Soroka out, I don't think Atlanta stands a good chance.
Sorry, Atlanta, but maybe
No.
next year.
There's always next year. Jays fans, they know.
Every year's next year.
Yep.
And then that leaves the possibility for Dodgers, Giants.
That would be sick.
Like I hate the Dodgers,
So do I.
but like I want to see LA San Fran
That'd be sick.
best of 5.
Yep. That'd be so good. That'd be a World Series right there, pretty much.
That's
1-2.
their hardest competition.
Yeah.
That's another thing about how I hate playoff formatting.
Yep. You got the two best teams going at it in basically the first round.
It happens in every sport, and I hate it. Like in the NHL, the president, like because of the divisions.
Yeah, didn't like Colorado play Vegas in the second round this year? Yeah, like those
And, like,
are arguably the 1-2, but they were the two best teams in the Western Conference.
I agree with having them play each other, but like second round.
Yeah.
Who
at
gives a
least-
fuck
at
about the
least
second
third.
round?
Yeah,
Like, give me that shit in the conference finals.
definitely.
But what can you do? Series is still a series.
It's not our decision.
No, it isn't. We got about 25 minutes left.
Yep.
We've kind of wrapped baseball, and there's not a lot of NHL or NBA to talk.
Yeah.
Like the NBA season starts soon. Whoop-dee.
Yeah, I don't really follow basketball, so I can't say much about that.
I'll be our basketball insider.
Yeah, I only really pay attention to playoffs.
I don't even like neither of us follow football either. The
Yeah.
Packers won today.
I don't know.
Did you know
yeah,
that?
I don't follow football whatsoever.
No, me neither. Like Packers won. Whoop-dee.
And all I know is the Edmonton Elks suck.
Yeah,
I think they've only won like one game.
I don't follow them.
Yeah, they're bad.
I think I've only been to one football game.
I haven't been to a football game in a long time.
I've been to one. It was fun. Edmonton was down by a touchdown going to the final play, and then they gave up a interception.
Oh boy.
It was so anticlimactic. Like I hate to say it, but like come on. We always like to end on something fun.
Oh, actually, I wanted to shout out for baseball, Joey Votto. Joey Votto had an insane year,
And he's Canadian.
and that's why I wanted to shout him out, just because he's a good Canadian dude, and I think he's like 38.
Joey Votto is really good. When I was younger, I thought Joey Votto was kind of a piece of shit. Just because he looks mean.
Joey Votto used to be my favorite player.
I used to think just because he looked mean that I thought he was mean.
He's sick. He had 99 RBI season as a 38-year-old. Doesn't happen very often.
No, shout out Joey Votto. He's really good. Career wasted in Cincinnati.
No, yeah, I feel so bad for him. Hasn't he made the playoffs like once?
Has he not? I think he's made it. He's had to have made it once.
He has made it. Well, I think it might have been a wild card loss though.
That's
Like the guy, that's the only reason why I was hoping like a month ago that the Reds were gonna make the wild card was just for Joey Votto, but
the Reds are so
didn't happen.
boring.
yeah.
Like when I think of Cincinnati Reds, I want to go to sleep. Like what have they done other than stink?
Nothing.
I feel like Cincinnati has so many good players, kind of like the Jays, and they just shit the bed.
Castellanos, like they still have. Is Luis Castillo still good?
Luis Castillo. Why am I blanking on the name of Luis?
Starting pitcher.
Oh yeah, he's.
'Cause he used to be pretty good.
I think he's. I don't even know if he. I haven't thought about Luis Castillo in a long time.
I thought of him because I face him all. 'Cause in MLB Road to the Show, I played on the Cubs, and I'd always face him.
He was okay. He wasn't. I hit the mic with my hat. He was okay. His ERA of 4 isn't
Oh yeah.
too impressive. Like I don't love it.
Wait, this year he was bad.
He had one good year.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm just thinking about. Yeah.
Some
Well, there's
player-
not much to think about Cincinnati, so
Yeah, not to diss Cincinnati so hard. You suck. Like have you
who's
ever?
a Reds fan?
I know I have, but have you ever just like dreamt about like playing in the MLB?
Well, of course I have.
Do you think about playing for the Reds?
Nope.
Who wants to play for the Reds? Not even the jerseys are cool. Give me a break.
It's always thinking about playing for either the Jays or like the big teams like the Cubs or the Yankees or
I've always had the dream of pitching for Team Canada and
that'd be pretty cool.
and being like the underdogs beating USA.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
No, but not to be a dick to Cincinnati Reds fans who
Guys
don't
have
even
a
get me
rough life.
started. Don't even get me started. Like the jerseys are boring. The logo's boring. Team
I like
is
the colors. I'll give
boring.
you that.
The color is red.
I like red. That's my favorite color.
I like red too, but like there's not even like a stripe. Well, I guess there's the stripe in the middle.
I guess. But like even the uniforms are like plain white
Yeah.
besides the logo.
Let's look at the Cincinnati Reds roster.
Oh man. Does Tucker Barnhart still play for
Oh
them?
my God. I'm kind of getting fired up over the Cincinnati Reds right now. Tyler Naquin plays there. Remember when he hit that walk-off bomb against the Jays in the inside the park
Yeah.
because Michael Saunders?
Castellanos is good.
Nick Castellanos is really good and weirdly hits a lot of home runs at shitty timing.
Yeah.
You know what happened last year?
No.
The Reds play-by-play guy didn't turn his mic off, and they caught him saying a homophobic slur live on air in Kansas City, Reds Royals. And when they went back to air, he was mid apology. And then Castellanos hit a bomb. So he was like mid, like, I'm so sorry. And then he's like, Castellanos drives one to right. They'll put the Reds up 2-0. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to work here again. He's like, I don't know if I'm going to work for my bosses at Fox. He didn't, by the way. And there's been like a lot of times this year where something shitty will happen and Nick Castellanos will hit a home run.
They actually do have some pretty good players in Cincinnati that I'm looking. Like Jonathan
What did they do with
India,
it, though?
Like Suarez, Moustakis.
What do you think? Sonny Gray used to be my favorite player.
Yeah, Sonny Gray, he used to be good, wasn't he?
He was good in Oakland, and then he was shitty.
I saw him pitch live against the Jays, and he lost.
He was good in Oakland, then he went to New York, and they booed him, and they hated him, and then he was okay to start in Cincinnati. Oh, you have Jeff Hoffman.
Have you seen that video of Sonny Gray hitting a bomb off of his kid?
No.
And he's like, see ya, and he bat flips, and the ball goes like over the fence, and his kid starts crying.
I watched that.
It's funny.
I like Jonathan India.
Yeah.
Everyone else on the Reds is not. No, it's actually, if you're on the Reds, you're cool with me. I don't like the organization. Boring.
That's another team I played for and rode to the show. Now that we brought him up, I got drafted by the Reds, but I got traded 1-for-1 for Garrett Cole and went to the Yankees. Poor Garrett.
I think I remember when that happened because I was at your house and you're like, I'm on the Yanks now.
Yeah, I told you about that. I remember.
I hate Road to the Show. I played a whole season and dominated, and they're like, you're not going to spring training. Excuse me? I dominated batting and pitching for a whole season. And you're not going to invite me to spring training? Who do you think you are, Atlanta? Do I play for Atlanta?
I like
think I
Road
play
to the
for
Show more than like the NHL. Be a pro.
It's more in...
I just like Road to the Show more because baseball's like easier to like play faster because you just play your at bats and stuff.
I love Road to the Show. I will take that back. I hate being disregarded by my organization.
Yeah, that's the like.
I've dominated AA and AAA, and I just
No, so like this previous year, my Road to the Show guy, I was a pitcher and a second baseman.
I'm a pitcher, outfielder.
And I was on the Cubs.
Yeah.
So and
how did you get called up? Lucky, or did you dominate?
Dominated.
I dominated.
Yeah.
They don't want me.
But anyway, whenever I was a reliever, not a starter, but whenever they would put me in, I would pitch like one inning or finish an inning. And then when it was my turn to bat, they would always pinch hit for me. even though I like was a better hitter than like anyone on the bench. And
I-
they do that every time, and it just bothers me.
I also think Road to the Show is kind of like MLB's kind of fucked up this year. They let you create one character and then you can't create a new one the whole ever again.
Yeah.
What if
I
I
didn't
want
even
to?
know that because I only made one guy this year.
I made one guy and I'm a two-way player, but I want to make a new one where I'm a closing pitcher and I'll play both of them. You can't do it.
Well,
Do
that's
they make you
stupid.
play one? Give me an option to play another one.
That is stupid.
That was so unless I'm doing something wrong, which is very possible because I'm not like the most genius when it comes to video games.
No, because I think I understand. Because when you click on Road to the Show, it just goes straight to your like. You don't have a
No,
option to select new or load. Like it just goes straight to your guy.
I think you can do a select new or load,
Oh,
but it makes you do it with your same player. Like the
That's
guy you
stupid.
created, it makes you do that guy at the same positions. So you could technically start again, but you can't switch it up.
wow.
Also, I was goated in last year's Road to the Show. I was a shortstop for the No, I was a second baseman for the Marlins.
Oh man, another team no one dreams of playing for.
Who?
The Marlins.
I got traded. I played a couple years in Miami, and then I got traded at the trade deadline to the contending Brewers. And I went on to, because I was already having an MVP like season. So I finished the year with Milwaukee and won MVP, and then we got smoked in the World Series by Boston.
Oof.
We literally ran through every team, and then we got to the World Series, and it's like we got swept.
Oh,
That was
that
depressing.
sucks.
I won't lie. Okay, we have 12 minutes.
Yep.
To wrap the show. I kind of went on my Cincinnati Reds tirade.
Yeah,
I'm still not over that. I don't
Yeah.
like. Fuck the Reds.
we weren't planned on going that deep into that, but
I'm not over it though. Like I hate Cincinnati. Ugh.
I don't hate them. They're just kind of there.
Yeah, and I'd rather a team be like dog shit. Like at least Baltimore's like they're gonna be bad. Like Cincinnati's just mediocre. You kidding me? Give me a break, Cincinnati. Okay. What we were trying to get to 10 minutes ago before I started yelling about Cincinnati. We like to end on every show on something fun. Olympic roster predictions. Cody predicted every team,
Yeah.
and I said, I thought we were doing Canada.
Do you at least want to do USA as well?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I'm going first.
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
do
well,
Canada first.
Okay, for Team Canada, first line, I've got McKinnon, Crosby, McDavid.
I don't have lines.
I know.
I just have 12 players.
Well, that's good too.
I have 12 forwards, 6 D-men, and
Oh,
2 goalies.
I could just read mine like that, and then I've got like a couple extras too.
Okay, name them.
Okay, well, forwards, I've got McKinnon, Crosby, McDavid, Marchand, Point, Marner, Huberdeau, Stamkos, Stone, Couturier, Bergeron, Scheifele, and for extras, I've got Barzal, O'Reilly, and maybe Tavares. Do you wanna
Which-
go?
Are you going to do D or you want me to do forwards?
Don't matter.
Okay, I'll do forwards. I don't know who, my extras will be. I think, obviously, believe it or not, Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby are going to make the team. I think McKinnon's
They
a
already
lock.
have.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we got that notification.
Yeah, Pietrangelo, McDavid, and Crosby are already on the team, probably as captains. But I think it's McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby are the most locks of locks. You
Yep.
got to think like Marchand will be there. Marner will be there.
Yep.
I like the Couturier pick.
Mm-hmm. I love Couturier as a player.
I think he's a great player. I think he's very underrated. I don't know about Steven Stamkos. I don't think I'd put him on my team, but I think he makes the team because a lot of Team Canada is Team Canada's guys.
Yeah, that's
They
why
pick
I
the
put
dude-
him there. It's
they
just
pick-
because he's
They pick the dudes who, well, he's played for Team Canada before.
yeah,
He's a good old Canadian.
exactly.
You not to disrespect Marty St. Louis. Why the fuck was he on Sochi 20? No, not was it? What was the?
He was
That
on
one.
Sochi.
He was on. No, I'm thinking of Chris Kunitz.
Oh yeah,
Who put Chris Kunitz on that? The reason I said St. Louis is because Yzerman picked Kunitz over his own player. He picked Kunitz over St. Louis, and he was mad
wow. Oh man,
because he's Crosby's line mate. No,
I
but
don't agree with that.
I don't know what I think Stamkos would make it for the sheer fact that he's the Canadian guy.
Yep.
I think Tavares has a better shot at making it than people give him credit. I feel like people underrate him. I feel like people talk about him so much that it made him more underrated. Like, people are like, this guy's shit. Then you look and it's like, oh, he's like a point per game player.
I don't think he's shit. I just like he's not a first line player. And like when he was on New York, he was like
I don't
the
think
guy. But
Do you-
like being on Toronto, like he's kind of
is Malkin a
shadowed.
first line player.
on Pittsburgh.
Over Crosby?
Oh no.
It depends what you think of. It depends what you're classifying a first line player to be.
Well,
Are you saying on his respected team or on any team? Because Tavares is still like a point per game player.
Okay, wait, sorry. I'll say that again. On certain teams, Tavares is a first line player, hands down.
That's what I thought you were going.
Yeah,
after.
but he's not on the Leafs. Like that's why.
Well, yeah,
because
but
he's shadowed, or he's
he's
like
a
Matthews and Marner. Like
he's
take the spotlight.
He's a first line player that doesn't play first line for no fault of his own.
Yeah,
I think Ryan O'Reilly makes that team too.
yeah.
Same reasons as Stamkos. And I think he's not to disrespect Stamkos, but he's had so many injuries, and I think O'Reilly brings a more all-around game. I like the point pick. Bain Point's really good.
Yeah.
Mushaw Warrior. Isn't he from Alberta?
Yeah, he's from Calgary.
Really?
Yeah.
Next show, we'll make a list of best Calgary
Taylor
athletes.
Hall.
Barzell's good, too. Bergeron's got to make it. Did you have your Bergeron?
Yep, fourth line center.
I think he makes it for the sheer fact as the other guys.
Yeah. Should we go to defense?
I have a few more that I want to
Oh,
highlight.
sorry.
Just like these are just some players that like might make it. Did you have Taves?
No.
I think Taves makes it
Well,
for that reason.
yeah, I was just gonna say Taves could make it just because he's been in
He's-
the Olympics before.
He's been there and he's one of their guys. I think Bo Horvat's really underrated to make this team.
Yeah.
Maybe not as a starter, but as an extra. Like I'm a big Bo guy.
Yeah, I like Horvat too.
Okay, I think we should go to
Defense. Okay,
Wanna
I've
go?
got Theodore Makar, Chikrin, Hamilton, Shabbat, Petrangelo, and extras I've got Letang and Spurgeon.
Letang and Spurgeon.
Yeah.
What about Jared Spurgeon?
I don't know who else to pick. If I'm totally honest with you.
No, I'm going to be honest. That's how I'm kind of feeling. Like, we know Petrangelo's on the team. I'm a Leaf fan. I don't know if Morgan Riley makes it. I think he makes it as an extra.
Yeah.
I don't know it of a starter. Kind of the same boat as Darnell Nurse.
Sorry to Ryan Thompson, I didn't put Nurse.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Also, our first episode with no Ryan Thompson as
Yeah.
special guest. Comment if you miss him, please. Maybe he'll be back. We'll see. No, I agree with your list pretty much.
Yeah.
I also think that players like Ryan McDonough might make it. He's American though, right?
He's American. Yep.
Never mind. He'll be
I
on my
thought about Adam Pelech, but
at.
I just don't think. I
I'll,
don't know if he'll make it just because he's not like a big name.
Adam Pelech is a great defenseman,
Yeah.
but look, hear me out. I'm a huge stats guy. I love advanced stats. Adam Pelech's not the best defenseman in the league.
Yeah.
Not to rip on my advanced stats brothers and sisters, because I am a wholehearted advanced stats advocate and I love it. But you nerds keep overrating Adam Pelech.
Yeah.
Love him.
No, I've
Not my
seen
number
some
one.
people on social media saying that he's the best defenseman in the league and stuff like that.
Adam Pelech's really good. It's not number one. Like, and I'm a huge advanced stats guy. I love everything. Like, and I agree he's an amazing player, but give me a break.
Mm-hmm.
Goalies, I think, is pretty.
Fleury, Price, Kemper. I think that's pretty.
I think the third spot is up for grabs.
Yeah, I think there's also like who else?
Let's see how Hart bounces back.
I think Bennington too is also Canadian.
He is, yes. You have to see how players, because I think right now, if you were to go off of the last few years, you go Kemper. But I wonder if they'd think about it like, let's take Carter Hart and give him this experience as the third goalie. What about Mike Smith?
No,
He was a third goalie for Canada in
I know. Yeah,
2014.
I have a picture on my wall, and Mike's chilling with no sweat while everyone else is sweating from the game, and Mike's just chilling there in his uniform.
Fucking Mike. Okay, we only have a couple minutes. Do you want to bang through USA real quick? Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't phrase it like that. Or do you want to save USA for next app?
It doesn't matter. I've got it right here.
Let's bang through it, and then we'll have a fresh topic.
Okay.
I'm going to stop referring to things as banging through it.
Okay. Anyway, for USA, I've got Matthew Tkachuk, Matthews, and Kane. Kyle Connor, Eichel. That's if Eichel even plays.
I don't think he's playing. I think healthy. He makes it 100%.
Yeah, we don't know about that, and then DeBrincat, then Goudreau, Jack Hughes, and Brady Tkachuk, Gensel, Larkin, Besser, and then for extras, I kind of had a hard time with USA. For extras, I've got Pacioretty, Robertson, Pavelski, and Oshie.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I had a hard time shaping out the last line.
Do you have Brian Rust?
No.
I like
Brian Rust is a really good player, though.
I like Brian Rust more than Oshie, but they might pick Oshie.
The shootout legend.
Yeah, what if they go to a shootout and they need him? No, I agree with all of that. I might have Rust on there. I really like Brian Rust. I think it'd be cool to have both Tkachuks.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Both Tkachuks.
Put them on the same line.
Light them up.
Do you have DeBrincat too?
Yep.
Yeah, I think USA's pretty straightforward on forward core. Defense, you could make arguments for a few players. What do you got?
I have Slavin, Fox, Werenski, McAvoy, Petrie, Carlson, and then extras I got Pionk and Hughes. I did leave out McDonough because I remember you mentioned him.
I mentioned McDonough, but then I forgot about that Adam Fox was American.
Yeah.
If I would have known that
McCarr and Fox battle.
Slavin's really good.
Yeah.
You know who we forgot in Canada?
Who?
Dougie Hamilton.
No, I said him.
Oh, I forgot Dougie Hamilton, not Cody.
Yeah. At least I think I said him.
If you didn't,
I have him on my list, so.
I think Jeff Petrie's really good too.
Yeah. I have Jeff Petrie making it.
There's not a lot of stellar D-men that kind of jump.
I did leave Seth Jones off.
I don't think Seth Jones has proven to be good enough this past year.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes this year.
What if they have a 2 Kachucks and 2 Jones?
Oh, boy.
Goalies, I think Hellebuck.
I have Hellebuck, Gibson, Demko.
I think it's Hellebuck, Gibson. I think you could make an argument for number 3, but it's got to be Demko, no?
Yeah.
Like, who else is even American?
Johnny Quick.
Oh, bring back Jimmy
Yeah,
out of retirement.
But yeah, goalies were pretty easy. I'd love to see Gibson play with a team that's good in front of him, but obviously Hellebuck's number 1.
I think it's pretty clear. On forward, extra. Yote legend, Devo.
Really?
Why not? I think he could be a pretty good. I keep touching the mic, so sorry if it comes up on the thing. But I think Christian Dvorak's really good. I don't have him as a
It'll be nice to
starter.
I don't know how Montreal will do this year, but it'll nice to see him with different players because in Arizona he didn't have much.
Also, someone who they always put that young guy on the team. What if they put Caulfield? I hate Cole Caulfield.
No, he's not. Well, I mean, I guess I did say Robertson, but
Love Nick.
I meant Jason.
What about Nick?
No, not Nick. Nick is still sick, but not Olympic level.
Do you think I love J-Rob, actually. Never
Yeah.
mind. We're 2 minutes over time.
Whoops.
So we're going to have to wrap the show right now.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
And thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you're hearing this soon. Hopefully you're hearing this, period.
Yeah, Ethan said Tuesday, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we'll definitely figure it out, and you're definitely going to be able to hear this eventually.
Yeah.
If not, we wasted an hour and 20 minutes. But I still had fun.
Same. Thanks, Chief.
We'll see you guys back probably Saturday.
Yep.
That's it for Misyk And Maat.
Yeah,
See you
peace
guys.
out.